Shalom, TaNaKh Wisdom. Rule. Rule. As kings, kingdom of priests, we are called to rule. But there are three words that they translate as rule in the original Hebrew. One is Yisrael, he will rule. That's Yahweh. Sarar, exerting exorbitant, unlimited power. There is Radah, which Yahweh commands us to do in the midst of our enemies. Radah, that's dominate, bring one under, humble one under control. And there's mashal, mashal. That's the reigning one that when we, as kings, like David and Solomon and Yeshua, that's how they ruled, mashal. Mashal is mem, shin, lamed. And the verb function of that is to determine role or character. Determine role or character. It is, designating a role, designating a character. It is also the word for parable, imagine, and proverb. A proverb, a parable instructing behavior. That's how Yeshua ruled. He gave instructions that made sense and people submitted to it. And that's how we're to rule. That's how Solomon ruled 40 years. That's how David, after he established his kingdom, ruled for 40 years. And that's how we are to rule. Now imagine mashal, that's the word for proverb and parables. I don't know where they got the word proverb from because, anyway, English proverb, pro-action, verb, be proactive and being faithful to do. Now, mashal, in Genesis in beginnings 3:16, after man fell and Yahweh was meting out the judgments, to the woman, to the man, he said, your woman will desire you, but you will rule over her. That's what the regular traditional translation says. But the Hebrew says, your woman will shuk. She will, the word is strive. The word is to move energetically to a goal. It's overflowing. But you will not rule over her, but you will mashal against it, against when she does that or gets caught up in that, striving to move energetically to overflow her boundaries in the redemptive order. Because remember, after the fall, Yahweh set up a redemptive order. We all lost a lot of privileges and freedoms and abilities, and that's where the woman lost that equal state with the man. And so now Yahweh set up Yahweh, man, woman in that redemptive order. But he said, you will mashal, you will instruct, you will determine her role and character, reminding her and instruct her behavior with that which makes sense to her, and she will willingly submit to it. The translation says you will rule over her. No, that's bad translation. It is also the same word in Genesis in beginnings 4 verse 7 where it says to Cain, sin is at the door and its desire is for you, but you shall mashal, you shall rule against it. or rule over it. Just like the woman towards her man. Sin is, in that verse, towards a man. But he said, you will instruct your behavior to not give in to sin's tempting, alluring ways. Mashal, rule. Determine role or character. Parable instructing behavior. Shalom, TaNaKh Wisdom.